You've heard about it, you've probably even seen it, the teacher revolving door, that constant churn of educators in and out of our schools. It feels like a problem we've been trying to solve forever. But what if we've been looking at it completely backwards? What if the real issue isn't getting teachers in the door, but stopping them from running right back out of it? Let's dive into an explainer that might just change how you think about teacher turnover. Okay, so let's get right to the heart of it. The story we usually hear, the myth, is that this is a recruiting problem. The solution? Just advertise more, throw bigger signing bonuses at people, and, just recruit harder. But the actual research tells a totally different story. It tells us this is a thriving problem. It's about the job itself, how it's designed, the support teachers get, and whether the workload is even humanly possible. So what in the world is a thriving problem? Well, it's not about how tough a teacher is. It's about whether the job is designed to sustain them or to just plain burn them out. It's about preventing what researchers call chronic depletion. The whole idea is to shift our focus away from the individual and put it squarely on the environment they're working in. All right, so let's get into the evidence. How do we know for sure it's the job conditions and not just a numbers game with recruiting? Well, let's take a look at what decades of research tell us about why teachers are really heading for the exit. This quote right here, it just nails it. Teacher turnover isn't just a bunch of random one-off decisions where someone wasn't a good fit. No way. It's a pattern, and that pattern is shaped by the school's organization itself. The culture, the systems, the day-to-day reality, that's what we need to be looking at. So, what exactly are those organizational conditions? Well, here they are, laid out for us. We're talking about things like administrative support, is it there or not, the quality of the leadership, the sheer workload, a teacher's sense of autonomy and professional trust, and of course, having enough time and resources to actually do the job. Believe me, these are the levers that make all the difference. Okay, so if the system is the problem, how in the world do we fix it? That's where this new mental model for retention comes into play. We're going to move past just diagnosing the problem and start actually designing a real solution. This, right here, perfectly captures the shift in thinking. You can't fix a deep, systemic problem with a hang in there poster in the break room or pizza party. It just doesn't work. Real, lasting retention is an outcome of a well-designed system, not just a temporary feel-good moment. So how do we start building that system? This framework breaks it down into 3 core parts. First up, well-being. The question here is, can teachers do this incredibly demanding work without it harming them? Second, social stability. Do teachers feel respected, connected, and like they're part of a community? And third, ecological balance. Is the entire school system actually built to last? Is it sustainable? Now, that all sounds great in theory, right? But what does it actually look like day to day? Let's translate this framework into concrete, actionable steps that school leaders can actually take. Let's kick things off with well-being. And the key insight here is to stop trying to make teachers tougher and instead start making the job more manageable. This is all about redesigning the work itself. And hey, if you need any proof that the workload is a massive issue, just look at this number. 49 hours. According to a RAND study, that's the average work week for a teacher. We're talking almost 10 hours of unpaid, uncontracted time every single week. That is just not sustainable. So how do you even begin to tackle that? Well, here are 3 really powerful moves. Number 1, protect planning time. And I mean really protect it. Treat it like non-negotiable infrastructure. 2, start cutting the hidden labor. All that duplicate paperwork and meetings that could have been an email. And 3, treat workload like a real constraint. You can't launch 12 new initiatives at once. You have to prioritize and be realistic about pacing. Okay, next up is social stability. The research is crystal clear on this. The single biggest factor in whether a teacher stays or leaves is administrative support and trust. It really is all about the people. This is the human side of the equation. So the moves here are all about building relationships. First, shift to high-trust supervision. That means less gotcha evaluations and more coaching and helping to remove barriers. Second, build a truly strong induction program where mentoring is a real community practice, not just some checklist. And third, give teachers an authentic voice, real authority in decisions that matter. People stay where they feel effective and respected. It's that simple. And finally, let's talk about ecological balance. Now, that sounds a little academic, but what it really means is creating a healthy school environment, a place where teachers don't just survive day to day, but can actually thrive and get better at their craft over the long haul. To get that balance, you need systems that are built to last. We're talking about clear instructional routines that reduce chaos for everyone. We're talking about designing master schedules that intentionally build in time for teams to collaborate. And it means using your staffing model strategically to reduce overload on your teachers. You're basically creating a system that reduces friction instead of one that just wears people down. Okay, I know this is a lot to take in, so the big question is, where do you even begin? Let's shift gears and look at a practical playbook that breaks this down into steps you can take like right now. This slide gives us a really clear path forward. In the short term, the next 30 to 90 days, you can get some quick wins. Run a survey, find the top 3 time wasters, and just cut them. Over the school year, you can start tackling the bigger things, like redesigning your evaluation system to be more about coaching. And then ongoing, you've got to track the right data, things like intent to leave and perceived admin support, so you actually know if what you're doing is working. So what's the bottom line in all of this? It's simple, but it's powerful. When a teacher leaves, it is not a personal failure on their part. It's a signal. It's your system telling you that something is broken. It's a wake-up call. And that leaves us with one final question to really think about. Take a look at your own school, your own district. Is it truly designed for professionals to thrive year after year, or is it just set up for them to survive? Because the answer to that question, well, it changes everything.